Wow. It's just absolutely humbling to stand in front of so many people that have meant so much to this town that I truly love. I can only thank greatly the Sports Hall of Fame for allowing me to be inducted, my fellow class members, 3 of which I had as students at the high school. And I just stand in front of you feeling as one of the luckiest guys in the whole world. I have had this honor to share with my very close friends of over 40 years, my wife Judy, who's put up with everything that a coach's wife's put up with. And it's tough to be a Zysk because when you head to the podium, everybody looks at their watches and says, oh, I guess this is almost over because Zysk is headed up to the podium. So I've graduated last in every class I've been in. Either I'm really dumb or I don't know what's going on, you know. I tell people I spent 43 years in high school. They look at me, man, you are stupid. So it's pretty amazing. How do you define the word lucky? You know, is it the guy who hits the tree and the ball goes in the hole? That's lucky. I answered in 1969. I answered a call from Mr. George Perry at Bristol Eastern High School to come in and to interview for a teaching job. He took me around. I spent some time in Mr. Caruso's class, spent some time in a number of great classes and a number of great people. And I walked back into the office at the end of the day, and he looked at me and said, well, what do you think? And I said, well, I kind of was thinking about going in the Air Force. And he looked at me and he said, yeah. He said, we're going to need a tennis coach. And you know what? He said, why don't you just give it a year and see what happens? Why don't you try it for a year? And that was the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. Because when I said yes, I ended up staying for 43. And along the way, I had some of the most wonderful students that represent what it is to be a good person. 3 of which are in the same class with me. And I look over and I see Chris and Jen, and knowing them as freshmen and watching them go through their careers at Eastern, and then being a part of the same class with them just makes me so proud. I can't even put it in words. I had the pleasure of so many great students in the classroom, so many wonderful athletes. We played a lot of matches. You know, we won our share, we lost our share, but we had more than our share of good times and fun. And very seldom does a student come up to me who played and said, hey, I remember how we were 27-2. Now they all say, hey, I remember how much fun we had. And I remember what a good time we had with relationships and friendships. Those friendships, and I sit here and I look at Steve and Carol, and I look at Matt and Michael, and I could go through John and everybody that's here that played tennis, Peter. They started in the early 70s, and here we are, 2015, and we still get on the court, and we still kid each other, and we still run around, and we're maybe not as fast as we used to be, but we still give it everything we got. And at the end of the day, we sit down and we give each other a high five and just have a great time. It's just a wonderful experience. Peers, teachers that I taught with, that became my lifelong friends, that we still go out and play golf and tennis together today. And a tennis community. Coming in to join Copper Ledges, 1971, I think, or 1970 actually, I played my first match at Copper Ledges. And to be a part of that community and everyone from Ralph Strong up through today to what we're trying to do and keep the club together, it's been absolutely special. I would run out of words to try to thank each person in this room that's been a part of my life. Only thing I can say is everyone who's touched me has made a difference, and I hope that everyone that I've touched has been affected by it. Because what you give is the caring that you have. And that's the only thing that you can really show people, how much you care, how much it means, how significant it is to you, and hope that they can take that with them into their own lives. So again, to all of you. Thank you so much. You've made my life so meaningful to me, and I can't even put it into words again. So just thank you.